BMXer, pro BMX background. He competed way back in 2001 Gravity Games. Dirt took an 8th place.
270 off there of the satellite dish coming into the whoops, and this is where things get interesting here at the end of the run with a 360 off of the cannon. Almost loses it there, Dennis.
Yeah, almost. That's the key word. He held on, and he's no stranger. You know, he'll send big stuff. Curious to see how this ends. A lot of guys were holding back on this.
And about Darren, big 360 down. That's a 25-foot step down. We talked about the 20-foot step down at the top of the hill. That's 25 feet right there, and he sends it.
Yeah, he sent it, and he landed it clean. He pumped the landing. 3 and in, and again, what's key here is a 360. You're just bound to not land it perfect. You've got to land it perfect if you want to keep your speed up. Wow, props to Darren, solid run.
So 5 judges working on a 100-point scale out here this evening. They dropped the high, dropped the low, averaged the 3 remaining scores together as we await score here. So he gets a 69 flat there, so not a bad way to start it off. And up at the ante there, coming off of that Red Bull dock with that step down into that 25-foot step down feature there. Your next rider though coming up out of British Columbia, Canada, won the Red Bull Rampage event last year. Brings in Kurt Sorgi.
Also starting with a big 3, and he's kind of dipped his, got a little style thrown in.
Massive back flip. Oh, and he just gets the back wheel on the landing.
That wasn't pretty. Massive back flip, hung back wheel, almost bucked him right over into a front flip, which obviously would not have been intentional. I think he's got the wing knocked out of him there.
Yeah, he took a good knock right there. Looks like part of the visor or maybe a camera that was attached to the visor came off as he went over the bike.
I'm glad he's wearing a full face helmet.
Check it out right here on the backflip. Kind of got a weird double pump in the middle of that. Just deck checked that thing.
Yeah, camera popped off. That was a hard slam. And I bet you the camera still works. Good to see them riding full face helmets though. It's a requirement in this event, and it's obvious why. They're sending themselves. Much like in BMX vert, full face required. So Kurt, if you can't ride in one, get used to it.
So Kurt Sorgi taking a nasty slam there on that backflip. You see him being tended to right now by X Games medical staff. It just come up short sometimes. That'll happen. There you go. You see him get up under his own power. That is a good sign. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and take his second run.
Yeah, we don't really, with so many competitors pulling out of this final and with a 2-run format, we don't have a lot of runs here tonight.
No, we had our first 3 guys drop out. Actually, 4 of our top 5 dropped out. Top 5 off the top of the start order, I should say. So he's getting up, walking away, shaking that one off, but taking a look back at some of our top qualifying action from elimination earlier today. Brandon Semenuk was looking solid in the elimination round.
Yeah, big X up 3 down there, big backflip. And what stood out about Brandon to me is just perfectly clean. He has the look of a guy that can step it up. He's just going to say, okay, it's the finals now. You thought that was good? Look what I have for the final. Nice clean 270, and he flowed.
But this gentleman right here, Brett Reeder, he came out and was the top qualifier with his first run and stayed there on top throughout the entire elimination round.
I think that's a big reason why. Massive backflip and a massive front flip. Most guys aren't going big on that step-up feature, and he went huge.
He boosted that front flip, and he did it even better in his second run.
You know, bar in, 270 out of that. I mean, using every feature is key if you want to be at the very top.
So if you're just joining us, top score right now, talking about Darren Bearclough sitting on top of things right now with a 69. Just had a crash by Kurt Sorgi as he's being tended to. It looks like he's up and off the course. Get things cleared up, get ready to bring in our next couple of riders. Are you new to mountain bike slopestyle? Log on to xgames.com/MTB101 now for the full breakdown of the course, the athletes, and why this is the next great action sport. And that's all over there at xgames.com. So here we are with the aerial shot of the start structure here. We're waiting to bring in our top 3 qualifiers. Talking about Cameron Zink, Brandon Semenuk, and Brett Reeder, who we just saw some highlights of moments ago. Cam Zink out of Reno, Nevada. Bit of a competitive advantage due to his big contest experience. His favorite tricks are 360s and big drops, and also known for doing 360s off the biggest drops ever.
And an X-up 360 here. We've seen all the guys start out with a big 360.
Oh!
That was ridiculous. I say ridiculous, meaning the extension he was going for there, and he missed the seat altogether, so it could have been accidental that he extended that far, but he's known for just really tweaking, Superman backflips.
I think he was going for the Superman seat grab backflip there. Grabs the seat, feet don't get the extension he wanted, and then this just gets away from him.
A lot of people don't realize the original Superman, invented like as a BMX trick. Rock Pole was like a one-handed variation, and then people just started leaving the hand on and still calling it a Superman. Superman seat grab, the hands off, obviously holding on to the seat.
Well, that one could have been a lot worse. Ended up riding out part of that on the with the seat just under the chest there. But again, hopefully we'll see Cameron Zink back and into round 2 of competition out here tonight. Remember, they're going to get 2 runs. It's the best run that counts out here.
Yeah, but with 2 runs and with one of them thrown for these guys, I mean, I'm not calling this for Darren Barraclough by any stretch. He can improve upon that run, but I think people were kind of overlooking him. He's the oldest guy in the field. He's one of the first guys to send it on this stuff. He's got so much experience, so well respected. And here he is after 4 runs, sitting in the lead, and with that many guys dropping out, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But these next 2 guys have shown why they're the top qualifiers, and they're both really consistent. So I don't expect to see a score of 69 hold up for the gold, but I just want to say props to Darren for being in the lead this late in the comp.
I was going to say, don't count out these next 2 riders. Look at Brandon Semenuk with a backflip down the step down to start it off, and a flip
I told
whip.
you.
But he over-rotates.
Hey, that's the thing when you roll the dice, when you go for gnarlier stuff, you're risking it, and there's 2 runs here. He's not done, though. I love to see that. He fell. His hand stayed on. He's going to continue the run. He's being judged still, and it's just showing spirit that he loves to ride his bike. He's not just going to stop because, he looped out?
Yeah, after that crash, gets right back up, pedals back into it, and he's got a pretty good amount of speed going right now into the latter half of the course.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he places any lower than second with this run, so I don't even want to call it a strategy because I think he's just out there having fun on his bike, but a good move for him to get up and keep going.
Well, that looked like an opposite 360 that he threw coming off of the cannon feature, going into this last step down.
Yes.
With a big 360 drop down, so he gets through a full run even though he has the fall, and he still is judged throughout the entire run.
Yes, he is. You notice how big he went right off the bat. Look at that, flipping off, and we're talking about a bunny hop flip. That's no joke. Dave Mirra used to do that. He just flipped right off the wall, almost flare style, and then a big flip whip. That's stepping it up, Jim, from what he was doing in the prelims, and I kind of knew. I could tell this is the kind of rider that he's dialed, and he knows he's got what it takes to get out of the prelim into the final, and now he's going to step it up.
So what do you think the judges are going to say here? Obviously, it would be enough to take over the top spot because he had a crash. He ends up with a 65, but finishing the run was key because now that's got him all the way up in second place. The other guys would just have 1 or 2 features hit, and then they're down there with low scores. By finishing that run, he's bumped himself up to second.
No matter what happens with Brett's run, after 1 round, he will be in medal position because he got up into the
He's your top qualifier out of elimination round. This is Brett Reeder, currently ranked second.
Look at that. Giant flip
World Tour.
Giant flip whip. He actually threw a crank in after he threed in. He was going for max speed and a huge front flip.
There's that front flip up the step up yet again. And watch the speed he has coming into the satellite dish.
I like this move though. Bar in, 270 out. Not the hardest thing in the world, but so many guys are doing nothing into it. And then wall riding, throwing the bars both ways. He throws them one way, throws them back the other, showing that he's capable of doing things opposite and normal.
All right. Coming into that feature.
Bar spin flip. Jim, this is the winning run right here. Assuming he doesn't crash. Not the winning run, the leading run.
Coming off that Red Bull, step down on this. Oh, 360, but you can see when he took off,
I just
he was going to over-rotate, and look at that back wheel.
Yeah, it's shot.
Ruined that thing.
I just threw my pencil down because I'm sure I had nothing to do with the outcome there, but you feel like you jinx somebody when you say, assuming he doesn't crash. But you know what, he didn't He didn't do like what a lot of guys did in the prelims where they just sort of launched down it. He kept it going. He went for the 360 even though he had a perfect run up to that point. And let's hope that he will be able to continue because he was on fire.
Well, if he's able to continue, I don't know that the bike will. I mean, that's some pretty heavy damage to that back wheel. I don't know. With a lot of guys dropped out of the rotation here, you see him up and walking away. As I was saying, with a lot of guys dropped out of the rotation here, there's not a lot of time to get that back wheel replaced.
Look at this. That's just a massive drop. And what made him, you know what? It's hard to say why he fell on that other than it's a massive drop. Nothing really looked too out of the ordinary. Little over rotation, I take that back. He over rotated, but man, the impact, it's just a long way to drop. But that flip was perfect. And this front flip, you're just not seeing anybody go that high up the step up. And he was the first one to really send it in prelims with that move.
So what will the judges think of this run? He ends up with a 68 flat despite the fall. So that puts him up in second right now. But you called it in the middle of round one here. You said Darren looking pretty comfortable right now in the top spot. We've got round two for mountain bike slopestyle with week 2 qualifiers from elimination earlier today. Brett Reeder and Brandon Semenuk sitting in second and third respectively. But Brett Reeder had a crash at the end of his run and had some issues with that back wheel. And for more on that, we check in with our field reporter, Jordan Whitley.
That's right. Well, Brett Reeder's okay. His body isn't banged up, but his bike, as you guys should have seen, the chaos ensuing. He was running from truck to truck trying to find his bike, realizing that that back tire was no good. He's found another one, and they're putting it on as we speak, and he's ready to get back up top and see if he can put that full run together.
Well, hopefully he can get that back wheel and get back into the mix. He's only sitting in second place right now with a 68, and if he can make that again and pull it off this time around, that could be the game changer here in round two. Remember, it's the best run that counts out here, so these 6 riders are all going to get one more shot at it as we go back up to the top with Andreu Lekondagi, who is currently sitting down in the 6th place position. Had a rough go trying to go over that first hit in round number 1. But right now, Darren Barraclough, your top guy as of right now.
And I expect Lekondagi to just send it here. I don't think he's going to say, let's safety run. There's 6 guys in this, you know.
So waiting for his moment, and here we go. We're in for round 2 with Andreu Lekondagi.
Kind of going for a toboggan there. The bars didn't really turn, but big X up backflip, pull the cleans, get through the course this time.
The body language there, it looked like he wanted to throw another variation in that backflip. Look at that wild 360 spin going for that step up.
Just went normal into that satellite dish. It's not one of the most important features, but again, you know, when you throw the bars in, 270 out, we start adding something to every piece that's going to add to your final score. Nice open can-can.
Coming into the last 2 features here, backflip over that transition and into the cabin. See what he throws off of the Red Bull step down.
Another note for can-can. Going for a relatively safe trick, you know, no flipping, no spinning, but he stayed on from start to finish, and so far that hasn't happened with some of the guys. So.
Well, as I say, he didn't straight jump, but he did do a trick. However, how much do you think the score is going to be cut down for a repetition of tricks? Because that's 2 no-footed cans in that run at the end.
You know, that's only our 2nd run that hasn't crashed, so you'd be comparing directly to Darren's run.
This is true. And there's the 2nd no-footed can at the end of the run. Remember, the high mark to beat right now is that 69 that we saw out of round 1 from Darren Barraclough. What do you think, Dennis? Where's this going to put him? 77.33, so that puts him on top of things. So Andreu Lekondagi has moved to the top of the leaderboard here in the opening part of round number 2.
Bumps Darren down to 2nd, but Darren's capable of stepping it up. I mean, if anybody has experience in these events, it's him. He has experience in BMX events too. I was talking to him a couple days ago about when the last time he rode one. It was actually a contest that I ran for Vans. Back in 2003, he was in the Vans Triple Crown in Denver, Colorado. About 10 years to the day, and that's the last time he rode a BMX comp. So it'd be kind of cool to come around and, you know, after BMX has been in every single X Games, win a medal here 10 years later.
Well, here he is in for his 2nd run. He can clean it up a little bit. We'll see if he can take back over that lead position.
Going for a 1-foot flatty over the big set there. It's not the craziest technical trick. Superman over can-can.
That one almost threw him over the bars a little bit. He got a bit of a deck check on that, but saves it.
Popping in, 270 out. You feel like it's just setting up for a big ending. I don't know what else he's got planned other than the 360.
Go for an Indian air, seat grab, Indian air, and coming into the cabin here. And this is key right here, how he finishes this off with the big 360. Kind of inverted that a little bit, got a little bit of tabletop into it.
And he landed it clean, and you know, that most likely, well, it's hard to say completely if it's going to be a score improvement or not. Because over the first set, he didn't send anything really big, but hey, he was clean from start to finish, and nobody else could say that up to this point for both runs.
Taking a look at the top of the run. Oh, I didn't see that at real-time speed. He got a little bit of a tabletop in that 360 off of the original start feature as well.
And that might be why he went for like a 1-foot, you know, flatty off that set, was that he didn't have the speed that he had planned to have.
And then again at the finish, a little more tabletop into the 360 there, a 25-foot step down. What do you think? Improvement over that first run score? I don't know if this is going to be enough to overtake the lead from Andrea Lecondegui.
It's hard to say because you're comparing Darren's first run to Darren's second run. If you compare it directly to Darren, you know, if you, I mean, it really is a tough call because if you compare it directly to the leader, to me it held up to the leader's run, but doesn't mean that he's going to score as high.
Well, it jumps up into the 70s quite a bit, a 75.33.
Yeah, 2 points behind.
That'll leave him in second. But he's looking at a silver medal as of right now. But Andrea Lecondegui could breathe a sigh of relief for right now. 4 riders left to go in the rotation, and the rest of these guys all had crashes in the opening round. Coming down the roll-in, this is Kurt Sorge.
Yeah, and a couple of guys having crashes and still having really high scores just shows that they are the leaders of this field, which is why they qualified in 1-2.
Straight jump into the step up, working some speed up here. He pedals his way towards the satellite dish.
X down. A lot of people don't differentiate between the two, but I go pretty far back. I like to differentiate between an X up and an X down. Won't go into the details here.
No for the can-can off of the cannon feature.
Using that sub but not doing a trick on it. I mean, you'd be better off just jumping the doubles there.
See what he does here off the Red Bull step down and straight jumping down that. It's going to be an improvement on his score from the first go around because he had a crash. However, it was a pretty conservative run. So this is definitely not going to put him in the top 3.
I don't expect it to put him in the top 4. I think Reeder and Semenek, even with their crashes, you know, to score 65 and 68 in crash shows that, you know, don't forget about Zink. He was really solid in the prelims as well. Basically, the next 3 riders that come up were the guys that really stood out in the prelims.
Yeah, and we may only have 2 riders that come back up because, again, if Brett Reeder, he gets to go last because he was a top qualifier, but if he isn't able to get that wheel replaced, then we'll only have 2 more competitors here. So
that's right where I would have placed him 5th place.
Kurt Sorge moves up 1 spot into 5th with that 58.66, but now pressure is on here for Reno, Nevada's Cameron Zink.
Next up, 360 down in. He did that in the prelims.
The backflip with a knack this time around.
Ends it for him. 2 runs, 2 crashes. Unfortunate. He seemed really dialed and consistent in the prelims.
He tried that Superman C-grab backflip the first go around, and that didn't work out. And this time around, tries to throw the knack flip into the mix, and that doesn't work out for him either.
Yeah, he just dropped.
Unfortunate there for Cam Zink. You can see the reaction there. Some of the other riders.
Just here is this contest moving fast.
It's moving very fast. It's also a bit scary right now.
I get the feeling the gold medalist is yet to ride. Well, you have to ride second run.
2 more guys left to go, but let's check in once again with Jordan Whitley on the status of Brett Reeder.
Kicking and pacing around. He got that wheel replaced. He's back up top. Hopefully he can breathe a sigh of relief. But, guys, you should have seen his mouth. His teeth all red.
Well, that's good that he got that back wheel replaced. Brandon Semenup is due up next, and he is outside of the medal positions as of right now. He is 3 points behind Brett Reeder. He's sitting in 4th place.
He won't stay in 4th if he pulls his run. If he pulls everything off, he's just too talented of a rider. Backflip down. That's no joke starting that way. Flip whip. Landing it.
Here we go, coming around the berm into the step up. He's on his way right now, Dennis.
He just looks like a guy with a lot of bike control. Clean double tail whip. He pulled that off in the prelims. I like this. Do something. Bar in. 270 out. Now more than 450 that time.
And look, he bar spins out of the vertical wall ride
through
into the rhythm section.
That's what Reeder did as well. So maybe they're picking a page up from each other's runs. Freeing up the cannon.
Backflip, hangs on now. He's just got to get through the cabin.
Comes out of this, he really does. He's going to be the leader if he pulls something here.
Just got to fire off one more trick off this Red Bull step down and a big 360, and he hangs on. And Brandon Semenuk has gotten it done.
Yeah, no doubt we have a new leader. And no doubt that Reeder is the guy that, you know, there's only one guy left, but Reeder's the guy that's capable of potentially bumping that run out.
So he had a 65 free run as we take a look at some replays here.
Just a bunny hop backflip. See, double whip here. Big 3 down. Very clean run.
And again, that's a 25-foot drop. He's coming through that with a pretty good chunk of speed. It all is in the hands of the judges at 96.
Oh
wow, look at that. That is the highest single run score that we have seen all day. And that almost beats the previous leader by almost 20 points. So Brandon Semenuk overtakes the lead here. What he's done now, with one rider left to go, he has bumped Brett Reeder out of the medals. Brett's sitting in 4th place right now. He's 1 spot out of medal contention here. But it all comes down to this last run. He's a little banged up, as you heard from Jordan in that report there. He did get that back wheel fixed. If Brett Reeder can hang on, will he creep back into the medals? It all comes down to this last run, Dennis.
There's only 4 points, like, of room to breathe. This has got to be an insane run. He's capable of an insane run.
Into the step up here, does the front flip.
Did he do something else?
It looked like he did an inverted.
It kind of switched views there. I couldn't see what it was, but it was definitely a variation of a front flip. If it was a bar front flip, then that's, you know, this run is on its way to taking the lead. On its way, because you got to stay on and you got to keep doing big stuff. You don't quit now.
Tailwind down the cannon. There's a bar spin backflip. He's got to hang on here as he goes through the cabin.
These 2 guys are clearly on another level right now today with the rest of the field.
Right here with the 360, and he hangs on. Oh, what a finish here.
Yeah.
It's a mountain bike slopestyle final.
Love to see a replay of the step up.
I think he did an invert front flip up that step up.
It changed camera angles real quick. An invert front flip is an improvement over a normal front flip. A bar spin front flip would be really big. They're all friends, as you can tell.
So he needs a 96.01 or better to take the gold.
You know what?
Opposite 360 to start that off, so an extra degree of difficulty.
And then a flip whip, pulling it clean.
Oh, he spun the handlebars in that. Wow.
This is the gold medalist.
He spun the handlebars in the front flip. I thought it was an invert front flip.
With all due respect for Semenuk's run, because he tore it up, it's just, with a 96, there's only 4 points between a 96 and 100, but this is the winning run. I can't imagine it's not. A bar front flip and a bar back flip and an Oppo 3 off the start. I mean, that's like a dream run for any one of these guys.
I would be shocked if this doesn't overtake the lead away right now for Brandon Semenuk.
Realize, though, the's not much room to breathe.
And he gets a 97.33, and he's done it by almost a point and a half. Brett Reeder, in his last run, takes home the gold here in the first ever mountain bike slopestyle event here at the X Games. But an impressive finish there also by Brandon Semenuk as well, taking the silver. We send it down one more time to Jordan Whitley.
All right, Brett, when your tire went out and you were waiting to go back up there, I saw how badly you wanted to get up there and make this happen. What was going through your mind when you dropped in for that last run?
Well, I don't know. After seeing Brandon's run, I knew I had to do something more, and I had to land that 3. But I don't know, I'm so happy to make it to the bottom, and after a crash like that and coming back up and getting it, it feels amazing.
And you've taken the very first gold medal in mountain bike slopestyle. Is it sinking in?
Not yet, but it's so sick.
And you guys had to wait all day for this. How much of what everyone did here today was for Munich?
It was 100%. It was really windy up there, and we were making it work out for everyone. So thanks for coming out, everyone.
He said dunk, everyone. Congratulations, guys. We'll send things back to you.
So what a wild finish to the event here. We had a lot of guys going down to that opening round, and your top qualifier, he gets bumped out of the top 3 spots and has to get it done in his last run after virtually destroying his back wheel in that opening round. But congratulations to Brett Reeder taking the gold here, Brandon Semenuk taking the silver, and Andreu Lekondigi walks out of here with the bronze medal in the first ever mountain bike slopestyle event here at the X Games.
Yeah, what a way to end it for these guys. Long day, but hey, it ended great.
And look at that beautiful